Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very interesting topic and I'm talking about the 5 things that I wish I knew before starting my fitness journey. And I'm not going to make this intro too long, I'm just going to get right into the first one. So number 1 is lifting weights does not make you bulky. Now, I started my fitness journey personally around 4 years ago. When I first started out fitness, I never thought I would get into weightlifting. I just followed my mom's lead. She kind of introduced me to the gym, and then we would do some cardio and like really light weight lifts that would pretty much be just 5 minutes at the end. But I always just saw, men in the weightlifting room and I'm not like being sexist or anything, but this is how it was, there were a lot more men in the weightlifting room. My camera almost fell. And I just kind of assumed that, yeah, if you're a woman, you just kind of run on the treadmill and do cardio, and that's like that, and women cannot lift weights. So that's what I did. I went to these cardio lessons and ran. It just made me skinnier. And that wasn't my goal. My goal was to kind of get a lean, muscular look, but that was obviously not feeding it because I was not building muscle. I was just burning fat. I really had this fear of gaining weight and looking big. And when I look at it now, I weight train 5 times a week, and I'm not bulky. I'm not big. Now, I barely do cardio at all, and I just lift weights. I just want you to know, weights do not make you bulky. They do not make you bulky. If you're eating in a crazy calorie surplus and like lifting, yeah, probably, but that's very unlikely. And number 2 is I did not know anything about proper nutrition. I was under eating for like 2 years and I was extremely weak, and I thought that in order to see progress and get abs, I just had to eat less. So I was eating as little as like 500, 800 calories a day, which is insane because right now I'm pretty much eating like 5 times that amount. It was definitely under eating, especially compared to my training frequency, because I was training a lot, many hours out. I was at the gym for hours just like doing cardio, and then I would go on morning walks and evening walks, and I was under eating so much, and I was cold and I was freezing and I was weak. I was not eating enough protein. I was just, calorie focused, low calorie foods, this, that, eating rice cakes and stuff. And that was not the way. And then I had this another phase. I went from too little protein to too much protein. So then I was just eating protein bars and protein puddings and protein ice cream and protein this. And that's, no. You can eat too much protein too. You need to find that sweet spot. You need that correct amount of protein, which is around like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And that's where I'm at now. I was just eating like salads and stuff because, that's like fitness. Salad. No, I haven't eaten salad for probably a few years, and I just did not know anything about macros. Like, I knew they were carbs, protein, and fat, but I didn't know how they worked. I didn't know how much I was supposed to eat them, and I was just like creating these fears of carbs and fats, and just like I was like, protein is good, everything else is bad. That's not true. You need all of them. You need all that stuff. Number 3 is that it's more than just physical activity. I used to, as I mentioned in the first one, I was just doing cardio because cardio is the one that burns the most calories and, burns the most fat. So I was just focused on that. And I was so focused on just like the physical movement. That was the only thing that was going through my mind. And if I got really sore after a workout, or if I was sore for a few days, I would be like, oh, it worked, because I'm sore, but that's not true. Sore does not equal success. And yeah, I was just focused on my physique, results, what I looked like, and I did not take the mental benefits at all. And, these days, I'm actually more focused on the mental aspect of fitness than the physical one, because weightlifting, it makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel so confident and just powerful, and it really gives me a break of just stress. If I'm really stressed, I can just go there and smash those weights and forget things for a while. It is way more than physical activity it's way more than burning calories. I don't focus on the calorimeter or whatever. I focus on weights and feeling good mentally and physically, so I'm not, forcing myself to be sore or anything like that. Number 4 is progressive overload. Progressive overload is basically increasing your training volume and frequency over time, and it can be done through reps and sets and the weight. So at the beginning of my fitness journey, and pretty way like even half through, I was just sticking with the same weights. Now, of course, if you're starting out, you should start off with low weights, but if you want to see progress or build muscle, you need to build up those weights. And obviously I was not seeing results, because that's pretty much the same as if you were drawing a smiley face every day and you wanted to get better at drawing. You're obviously not going to improve because you're not trying different techniques, you're not trying shading, you're just going to draw that same smiley face with the same dots. You're not going to improve because you're just doing it over and over and over again. You need to switch it up. I did the same routines, same workouts, and obviously it was also very boring. It was very boring. I was just, gonna do this, gonna do that 5 times a week. I don't do that anymore. I change my routine every 2 to 3 weeks, even monthly, because your body will get used to the volume and frequency and routines that you do, like even just switching out a little bit this and that, adding some supersets. It puts more stress on your muscles and kind of shocks it, because your body is very smart and it can get used to things. So you need to switch it up and, get out of your comfort zone. Try new different things. I was sticking to the same exercises, and then I was like, oh, I wonder why my triceps aren't improving. Obviously, because I'm not trying new movements. I'm not even training them, because I'm just focused on shoulders and stuff. And, you gotta train your weak spots as well. It can be uncomfortable, and sometimes I just feel like a little bit of an idiot at the gym. But that's part of it. You're never going to improve if you don't try, if you don't do it. Last but not least, number 5 is that progress takes time. I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos, but I just can't say enough of it. I was expecting very quick results. I was doing some YouTube ab workouts, get abs in a day. Impossible, absolutely impossible. You got to get abs by building them by muscle and being in a surplus, and then revealing them with a cut. It takes years, okay? It takes years. You don't just get abs overnight. You don't just get big glutes overnight. Muscle is a slow growing progress. And because I was expecting too much, I was sad because I was not seeing results, and I was like, this is useless. I'm pushing my butt off, but nothing is happening. Someone is cutting the grass. I'm very, very sorry. And then also I was just comparing myself to elite athletes and bodybuilders, and I was like, why don't I look like that? They've been training for, probably more than half of their life. And I just started out, and it is impossible for me to look like that. And most likely I will never look like that, because our bodies are different, Our bodies have a set point of muscle that we can gain in a year, and you cannot compare yourself to anyone. You need to focus on you. You need to work out for you and do what feels good for you. The title of this video is 5 things I wish I knew before starting my fitness journey. And by journey, I mean a lifelong journey. You're never going to be ready. That might sound sad for some people, but honestly, I'm glad it's a journey, because there's always something to improve on. There's always new exercises. There's always more muscle to build, and that's why I love it. You're never done, and you're constantly kind of like fighting yourself. It's a one-on-one match. And just do not compare it to anyone else. And you really need to fall in love with the progress. And that's what I've learned, is just to stop, yes, it's motivating to think of, oh, I'm gonna look like this, but honestly, I love the progress and the difficulty and the challenge. It wouldn't be fun if it was easy, to be honest. And that's what I love about fitness. So those were my 5 things that I wish I knew before starting my fitness journey. I hope this was helpful for anyone who is starting off their fitness journey or even on it or thinking of it, so you can avoid the same mistakes that I made. But honestly, I'm glad that I made those mistakes because you learn from them. And now looking back at it, you know, I just laugh at it and I know better. And definitely I have learned very many lessons, and I'm sure that there's many to come because we're not perfect. And to new mistakes, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, friends.